As someone that is currently a server in fine dining and previously worked for a Broadway production company, not to mention also worked for a drag dinner theater as an assistant office manager, I have some words of wisdom for anyone that is going out for a nice dinner before they see a show. If you're going to any sort of establishment that is reservation based, please show up early. Yes, we already know that. That might be seemingly obvious. But you have to bear in mind that if you are going to see an evening show, be it a concert or a play or a comedy show or a musical or anything like that, and you are going on a Friday or a Saturday evening, hell, even a Sunday night or sometime around the holiday season, if it's in an area of town that is particularly busy or near that theater where a lot of other patrons might be going, give yourself a little extra time just in case you end up getting caught up at the end and, God forbid, being late to your show because your waiter was dealing with a dinner rush and you weren't able to get your check in time. Whenever patrons come into my job and let me know that they're there prior to a show, I always try to get the check squared away and figure out if we're doing separate or the same or one bill right at the beginning. And I make it very, very clear that if I'm ever not around and they need their check, any server can help assist because I want to make sure they get to the show on time. Now, when I worked for Nederlander and thus was sometimes working at the box office, during Broadway tours in San Diego and also San Jose, sometimes people would show up right before we are closing the doors to start the show, and that in and of itself might not be a problem. But if you took a little bit of extra time at the restaurant, say on accident, because you only gave yourself an hour and a half to eat and it was in the middle of a Saturday dinner rush, so it took a while to get your bill, or you were dealing with traffic after dinner, etc., sometimes by the time you get into the building, by the time you get up to the box office or you find your tickets, there's not enough time for us to get you into the house at the theater and then up or down the stairs or whatever aisle to your appropriate seats before the show starts. So you have to wait until there's a hold that's appropriate because it could be a safety issue or an issue of timing or distraction, etc. So if you don't want to miss any of the show, and I know no one wants to miss any of the show, but sometimes people don't necessarily understand the chaos that can occur on the restaurant's end that might end up delaying things a bit more than anticipated. If that's the case, give yourself at least 2 hours. I was kind of shocked when I had a table tonight that didn't get their steak dinner until 45 minutes before the concert that they were going to started. And thankfully I got them out in time, but we were sort of getting to a place where had it not arrived in another 4 or 5 minutes, we would have had to cancel their order because they had places to be. Then again, they showed up only an hour and a half before the show started. Not before they needed to leave, before the show started. So, if you want to enjoy a nice dinner or a nice meal and you're not going to a matinee and you're not getting the drive-thru, make sure that you give yourself enough time to keep in mind traffic, to keep in mind any delays that a busy restaurant might have to encounter, and to bear in mind you getting to the theater, going through security, getting your tickets, and finding your seats so that everything starts on time, you enjoy the show, your servers can give you the proper dining experience, you leave happy and well fed, and everyone involved is a happy camper.